water knot is not for rope, generally speaking. It's for webbing. Okay, so right now I have some 1-inch tubular webbing, and let's say, for example, for the sake of the video, let's say I wanted to join these two ends together and make a big loop. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take both ends, I'm going to set one of them down, and I'm going to make a large open overhand knot. Okay, big old overhand knot, nice and loose. Then I'll run my hand all the way down, because I want to make sure I'm doing this the right way. The purpose of running it down is so that I can make sure things line up. Now, what I want to do is I want to take the second end and I'm going to feed it through following the first end. So I'm basically doing an overhand knot again, just on the second side. Okay, and I'm feeding it through. This creates a water knot. And this is for connecting pieces of webbing together. So if you pull real tight, this thing will get tighter and tighter and tighter, and it won't loosen. Now, what I like to do on some of my water knots, if I make webbing for climbing or something like that, I like to take dental floss and sew these little flaps down so that they don't flap around. But that's the water knot. Very simple, very effective. Okay, water knot. That's when I have webbing. Okay, I have two pieces of webbing and I want to connect them. Okay, so I'm going to throw one down. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of webbing, the first side, and I'm going to make just a very loose, simple overhand knot. Make sure that everything's nice and clean looking. Okay, so I have a very nice clean overhand knot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the other side of the webbing and I'm just going to follow this piece back through with this one. So I'm here following it through. See, I'm going on top, pulling it through, going around the bottom, coming over the top, and through this hole. This creates what we refer to as a water knot. This is excellent for connecting webbing. It's very strong. In fact, over here I have one that I've put together. This is some smaller webbing, and you can see that I've stitched it with dental floss. What the dental floss does is it keeps these tails from slipping, and this is one that I take climbing with me so that I can use it for a lot of different applications. So this is the water knot to make a loop. Maybe you need to step in a loop or something like that. That's the water knot. Okay everybody, the water knot is, like I said, it's when we tie webbing together. Okay, and this might be used to create a sling that you might be using to step into a prusik or something like that. I kind of showed that a little earlier when I showed the prusik. I used this little sling. These can also be used for many things. If you're going to run a dog run or something and you want this to come down to your dog, or there's all kinds of things that you could use a water knot for. But more importantly, it's for connecting two pieces of webbing. Okay, and like I said, if you do use it for a step, say I'm setting it right here and I'm gonna put my foot in this, as long as what I'm hooked to up there is strong enough, this water knot's not gonna slip at all. It's not gonna slip, it's just gonna bind. I could put my foot in here and stand up on this, no problem at all. So that's one of the uses for the water knot. Another thing that comes to mind right now real quick, is if you're going to be doing any kind of traditional rock climbing. Say you're going to be putting cams in the rock, you're going to be putting nuts in the rock. If you know anything about rock climbing, you'll know that you use a lot of webbing for your traditional gear. So that's another use for the water knot.